On the roll call, Councilmember Aloya.
Here.
Councilmember Calangelo.
Here.
Councilmember Arundellini.
Here.
Deputy Mayor Joseph Delaney.
Here.
Mayor Rigoloso.
Here.
Okay, we have 5 ayes, which means a quorum is present for this regular meeting of the Garfield City Council, which is being held today, which is Tuesday, August the 28th, 2018. This regular meeting is being held in accordance with provisions of the Open Public Meetings Act. Adequate notice has been provided by mail, facsimile, and email to the official city newspapers and to other interested parties, and by posting the meeting notice on the bulletin boards in City Hall. If everyone please rise, we'd like to begin with the flag salute.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Clerk, could please remain standing for a short prayer.
Heavenly Father, we ask you to look down upon our city council this evening. We ask you to bless and protect the city of Garfield. We ask you in a special way to bless and protect the city clerk. Our city clerk has served 31 years. He has never missed a council meeting. We ask your continued blessings so that until his retirement, he never misses another council meeting. We thank you, Lord, for the service that our city clerk, Drew Pavlicka, has provided to us. We ask you to guide and protect the mayor and council, guide and protect the good people of this city, and be with the people of Garfield always. Amen.
Mr. Mayor, members of the City Council, is there a motion to approve the reports of the Cabinet as presented orally and in writing during the work session held earlier this evening?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, motion by Councilmember Arundellini, seconded by Councilmember Aloya. On the roll call, Councilmember Aloya.
Aye.
Calangelo.
Aye.
Arundellini.
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Joseph Delaney.
Aye.
Mayor Rigoloso.
Aye.
Okay, we have 5 ayes. Resolutions, Mr. Mayor?
Yes.
Okay. Mr. Mayor, members of the City Council, resolutions number 236, 2, and including number 251 have signatures of all the council members present. So if there's no objection, I will take one roll call vote on all those resolutions.
Could you give me the numbers one more time, Joe?
251.
Yes, 236, 2, and including number 251. On the roll call on those resolutions, council members, Councilmember Aloya.
Aye.
Councilmember Calangelo.
Aye.
Councilmember Arundellini.
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Joseph Delaney.
Aye.
Mayor Rigoloso.
Aye.
Okay, we have 5 ayes on those resolutions. Okay, we have a resolution authorizing the advertisement and bidding of the 2018 Comprehensive Infrastructure Improvement Program. The resolution is offered by Council members Arundellini, Joseph Delaney, and Rigoloso. On the roll call, Councilmember Aloya.
Aye.
Councilmember Calangelo.
Aye.
Councilmember Arundellini.
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Joseph Delaney.
Aye.
Mayor Rigoloso.
Aye.
Okay, we have 5 ayes. Mr. Mayor, members of the City Council, resolutions number 257, 2, and including number 269 have signatures of the entire City Council on them, so if there's no objection, I will take one roll call vote.
What happened to 253?
Yeah, we missed a few there.
253 to 256.
Oh, you're right,
Yeah,
okay.
no, it's great.
You're
Great
right.
job on your 5,000 meetings.
He's nervous.
Okay, let's do it again. Resolution number 253 to number 255 have signatures of the entire City Council. So if there's no objection, I will take one roll call vote on those resolutions. On the roll call, Councilmember Aloya.
Aye.
Councilmember Calangelo.
Aye.
Councilmember Arundellini.
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Joseph Delaney.
Aye.
Mayor Rigoloso.
Aye.
Okay, we have 5 ayes. Okay. We have a resolution authorizing the city engineer to provide inspection, ADA ramp design and construction oversight, asphalt restoration, coordination in conjunction with the 2017 and 2018 PSE&G gas main and services replacement programs. The resolution is offered by Council members Arundellini, Joseph Delaney, and Rigoloso. On the roll call, Councilmember Aloya.
Mayor, with this resolution, I'm going to vote aye because I want to support our city and the projects that we do. But without question, my trepidation is the fact that PSE&G should be more responsive to the city's requests as to the point you brought up with regard to the placement of these gas meters, and second, to the completion of a job that they've contracted and said they're going to do. So if they say they're going to do it, why are we going back to make sure that they did it? and spending taxpayer dollars to do that. So I'm in support of your criticism, and I support the resolution. I vote aye.
Councilmember Calendrillo.
Yes.
Councilmember Arundellini.
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Joseph Delaney.
Aye.
Mayor Rigoloso.
Aye.
Okay, we have 5 ayes. Now, resolutions number 257, 2 and including number 269. It has signatures of the entire city council on them, so with no objections, I will take one roll call vote on those resolutions. On the roll call, Councilmember Aloya.
Aye.
Councilmember Calendrillo.
Aye.
Councilmember Arundellini.
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Joseph Delaney.
Aye.
Mayor Rigoloso.
Aye.
Okay, we have 5 ayes on those resolutions. Okay, we have a resolution which grants a towing license to David's Auto Body of 70 Lincoln Place, Garfield, New Jersey. The resolution is signed by Councilmembers Aloya, Arundellini, Joseph Delaney, and Rigoloso. On the roll call, Councilmember Aloya.
Aye.
Councilmember Calendrillo.
Abstain?
Councilmember Arundellini.
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Joseph Delaney.
I'm voting yes on the resolution, but I definitely would like to finalize the ordinance that we have to do with regards to the tow trucks.
Okay.
I vote aye.
Mayor Rigoloso.
Aye.
Okay, we have 4 ayes, 1 abstention. We have a resolution authorizing the appropriate city officials to enter into a contract with Philip Amato to serve as municipal humane law enforcement officer for the city of Garfield. The resolution is signed by Councilmembers Aloya, Calendrillo, and Rigoloso. On the roll call, Councilmember Aloya.
Now, this is a contractual agreement resolution, correct? As it was
That should be a
stated.
contract employee.
No, it's for contract. We advertise for a contract, not for an employee.
Okay. And the second issue is that we have an open discussion with regard to the storage of the animals that are still to be resolved. So I think that has to be part and parcel of the finalization of the contract. Okay.
If it's a contract, yeah.
Right. I vote aye.
Councilmember Calendrillo.
Aye.
Councilmember Arundellini.
Yes, at this time, in speaking with our attorneys, it seems that they have some questions that they want to continue looking into and seem to be a little bit apprehensive. So before I give my affirmative vote, I would like to see that answered. So at this time, I'm going to vote no.
Deputy Mayor Joseph Delaney.
Aye.
Mayor Rigoloso.
Aye.
Okay, we have 4 ayes and 1 nay. Resolution is adopted. We have a resolution authorizing the award of the contract to film and broadcast city council meetings. The resolution is signed by council members Calendrillo, Aloya, and Arundellini. The roll call, Councilmember Aloya.
Aye.
Councilmember Calendrillo.
Aye.
Councilmember Arundellini.
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Joseph Delaney.
You know, it's just that I see the young man in the back that works for the school system, who volunteers his time. Now, is he going to be able to film the meetings also? Are we going to have 2 filmmakers here? Because he does a great job and he volunteers his time. He's a city of Garfield kid, and he does it for the high school. So I want to know, I want to make sure he stays also. Does this contract calls for no other filming? I don't know.
So you want a contract?
Well, I want the young gentleman to continue what he's doing because he's doing a wonderful job. I don't want to get rid of him because of whatever reason. So with that, we don't know the answer to that. I'm definitely voting no.
Mayor Rigoloso.
We have someone filming already in the back. It's for free. I know there were issues, but I thought we cleared them up. I'm going to vote no.
Okay, we have 3 ayes and 2 nays. The resolution is adopted. I don't know if somebody could explain this one resolution here, if I need to have it explained.
Certainly. This is resolution number 273, yes?
Yes.
Resolution number 273 is a request by the mayor and council to the planning board to conduct an examination of the properties owned by Greater Bergen Community Action Program and the former Ritz Theater, which is on Passaic Street. The property owned by Greater Bergen is 95-109 Passaic Street. The Ritz Theater is 100 Passaic Street. This resolution asks that these properties, which are in an already designated rehabilitation zone, be studied for a possible inclusion into the redevelopment zone, and that would be a non-condemnation redevelopment area.
And the resolution is signed by Councilmembers Aloya, Aaron Delaney, Joseph Delaney, and Rigoloso. On the roll call, Councilmember Aloya.
Aye.
Councilmember Calangelo.
Yes, I'm happy to see that it's a non-condemnation, but when right now, we are in litigation, because we're being asked to have the rest of the redevelopment area non-condemnation. So I don't understand why we could do it for these properties and not end this lawsuit and give it to the rest of Passaic Street, and the other areas that are in the zone as non-condemnation properties. So I'm abstaining on this because I think there's really no clarity here, and there's no consistency. It seems like we're picking and choosing what should be condemned and what should not be condemned. I didn't have a sufficient explanation, except the fact that the rest of Passaic Street and the rest of the other areas wanted us not to condemn the properties, which I agree we should not have condemnation. But why not just end the lawsuit before a judge has to make a decision? So I'm abstaining on this.
Councilmember Aaron Delaney.
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Joseph Delaney.
You know, we're finally getting redevelopment going over here in the city of Garfield, and it's been on hold for many years. We need a change. We need a jump start. And this, I believe, is a jump start that we need to get Passaic Street going. All right? And to waste any time, to wait any longer, is just government moving slowly as it had for many years. And I don't want to do that. I don't want to wait any longer. I want to get it going now. I want to get it going yesterday. All right? I get nothing but compliments with the redevelopment that we have right now in the city, and to stop it or hold it up isn't the right thing to do. I vote aye.
Mayor Rigoloso.
About a month ago, I sat at a forum for people that say they're from South Garfield, even though, I don't believe there's a South Garfield. I think we're all together. And they had myself, Councilman Calangelo, and City Manager Thomas Dutch. We all got a chance to speak at the end. And I remember, I think her name was Elaine. Elaine, she got up and talked, and, she said that they want redevelopment. They're not against redevelopment on Passaic Street, and they want redevelopment, and this is a great opportunity. I mean, recently I've spoken to a group of people from all the wards in Garfield. There were families, we were at a restaurant, and their vision is to get redevelopment going in Garfield, to get Passaic Street moving, and this is a great jump start. There's a couple pieces of property there, and to get them into redevelopment is perfect, and, it's going to happen. Passaic Street's going to be redeveloped, and I'm excited about it, so I vote aye.
Okay, we have 4 ayes and 1 abstention. The resolution is adopted. And finally, on the resolutions, we have one authorizing the appropriate city officials to contract with Alpha Dog Solutions for website design and daily content management. The resolution is signed by Councilmembers Aloya, Rigoloso, Aaron Delaney, and Joseph Delaney. On the roll call, Councilmember Aloya.
Aye.
Councilmember Calangelo.
Abstain.
Councilmember Aaron Delaney.
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Joseph Delaney.
I just want to give a shout out to my daughter, or to Councilwoman Aaron Delaney. She's been a proponent of the website, of the whole social media aspect of the city since she became an elected official. And we're behind the times, again. So I'd like to give her credit. I bring this to our attention, because I have no clue what our website says. I'm just not that savvy. But she brought to our attention, we have a company here who's going to bring us up to date and for the future, so I definitely vote aye.
Mayor Rigoloso.
Yeah, it's time that our website gets updated, and I'm excited to see how it's going to get updated. I vote aye.
Okay, we have 4 ayes and 1 abstention. Resolution is adopted. Bills and claims, Mr. Mayor.
Yes, please.
Resolved by the City Council of the City of Garfield that the following bills, number 2114 to 2125, covering community policing, trust fund, dog trust, trust other, trust account, unemployment insurance, dedicated penalty trust, fire department, and dog trust fund totaling $18,491 $90, and the current fund reserve totaling $24,830.84, and the current fund totaling $3,186,206.21, and the water fund totaling $347,044.68, and general capital fund totaling $713,153.64, and the water capital fund totaling $6,553.50 per attached computer lists be ordered paid, and the proper officers are hereby authorized to issue checks for same, provided there are funds in the respective appropriations. Be it further resolved that the action of the mayor, city clerk, and city treasurer in issuing checks and payment on the ratification list, which includes 109 items prior to the meeting, be ratified. Bills and claims resolution is offered by council members Aloya, Aaron Delaney, Joseph Delaney, and Mayor Rigoloso, and the one bill that was questioned is being pulled.
For purposes of the meeting, there is a bill number 18-01977. It concerns the new newsletter for the city of Garfield. I asked that the mayor and council, we're going to pull that bill. I will look into it, and if it's, and I'll advise at the next meeting. But for purposes of this bill list, the bill is pulled.
On the roll call, Councilmember Aloya.
Aye.
Councilmember Calangelo.
Yes, I vote aye on all bills except the Hard Rock Cafe for 2 councilpersons and the mayor attending during the League of Municipalities.
Councilmember Aaron Delaney.
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Joseph Delaney.
Aye.
Mayor Rigoloso.
Aye.
Okay, bills and claims are approved. Finally, we have 2 ordinances on introduction, and I don't know which one is first. Okay. We have an ordinance of the City of Garfield creating a new Chapter 214 of the Garfield City Code to be entitled Motor Vehicle Repair Shops. The ordinance is introduced by council members Joseph Delaney, Aaron Delaney, and Rigoloso. On the roll call, Councilmember Aloya.
Aye.
Councilmember Calangelo.
Abstain.
Councilmember Aaron Delaney.
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Joseph Delaney.
Aye.
Mayor Rigoloso.
Aye.
Okay, we have 4 ayes, 1 abstention. The ordinance passes on first reading. And also on introduction, an ordinance to amend Chapter 164 of the City Code of the City of Garfield entitled Garbage, Rubbish, and Refuse. The ordinance is introduced by council members Aaron Delaney, Joseph Delaney, and Rigoloso. On the roll call on first reading, Councilmember Aloya.
Aye.
Councilmember Calangelo.
Aye.
Councilmember Aaron Delaney.
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Joseph Delaney.
Aye.
Mayor Rigoloso.
Aye.
Okay, we have 5 ayes. The ordinance passes on introduction. That concludes all written items for voting at this time. Mr. Mayor, members of the City Council.
All right, before we open it up to citizens and taxpayers, Councilwoman Delaney has to be excused.
Yes, I just wanted to apologize for having to leave early. I want to congratulate Drew, as always, a job well done on his countless meetings, and also wish everyone a safe Labor Day weekend.
Thank you, Councilmember.
Okay, at this time, we're going to open it up to citizens and taxpayers, but we got away from it in the past. We're going to leave it up 4 minutes for the citizens or taxpayers to speak. The council will answer all questions at the end of all the citizens that come up to talk about their concerns, compliments, or complaints. Council meetings have been going on for long periods of time, but we're getting out at 10:30, 11 o'clock. This is going to shorten everything up. So at this time, citizens and taxpayers, who would like to come up? There you go. Please state your name and address.
Good evening. Edward Devine, 159 Market Street, Garfield. I come to meetings every once in a while. Tonight, the meeting started at 9 o'clock. On the website, it says the meeting begins at 8 o'clock. I don't understand how come the meeting does not begin at 8 o'clock. I feel that if the council has to do their closed session until 9 o'clock, which seems to be every time I arrive, the public should be advised to arrive at 9 o'clock. When people arrive for appointments and are made to wait an hour on a regular basis, it generally discourages people from attending. I don't know if that's the mission. I've seen people walk out because they're scratching their heads wondering what's going on. If the council has to run over in closed session, I would suggest that the council come in here at 8 o'clock, and after you take questions, which you're only allotting people 4 minutes, after we've sat here for over an hour waiting for you guys to come in, go back and do your thing after you're done in here. It's disrespectful. It's basic disrespect. That being said, I'd like to compliment Erin on getting the website going. Fantastic. It's about time. And I have a few other things. And if I run over and I have to cycle back through, I will. Let me get to why I came here tonight. There's a piece of property at Market and Jewel. I've been advised, it's the culvert. I know Mr. Boswell's aware of it. It runs through the blocks there. It's a little creek. I've been advised this is county property, and there's been a problem with getting the county to agree to repair this. This is 100 yards from School 4. It's completely overgrown, it's hazardous. I don't understand why the city can't take the ball and bill the county back. I don't understand how a hazardous condition like this can be allowed to exist within 100 yards of a school. And I don't know who the point man here in the city is as far as reaching out to the county, if my facts are actually correct. But this has been going on for years. Whoever the point man is, he's not getting it done. He's just not getting it done. Fantastic news on the, I want to compliment whoever made the call on the video. I appreciate your view, Mr. Delaney, as far as the gentleman being kept busy doing something. However, the problem with X amount of city residents not being able to view the broadcast due to not the actual broadcasting of or the recording of the event, but what goes on with Cablevision. There's obviously things that have to be worked out with Cablevision to get these things going on. I think that requires a little bit more than a student who's handling a camera. I'm sure we could find something for the kid to do it. And I appreciate your feelings as far as doing that. But the whole city's hanging in this. We can't worry about keeping a kid busy and keeping whatever it is, 30,000 residents in the dark as far as what's going on here. Just a point I wanted to make. Resolution 266 reads, authorizing a refund due to overpayment for the year 2018. What does that mean? To who, to what, for what?
Yeah, 266.
This is complaint? Yeah, I guess. This is on Market, you said, and...
Entitled to the
Market and Jewel.
The overpay.
Yeah, this is, it says overpayment. It was for a citizen for overpayment of taxes. I don't know exactly the nature of this one, but sometimes if somebody closes, sometimes the mortgage company will pay, and then the title company will pay, so you'll have a double payment for the quarter, so you have to refund it. So,
It's just not very clear. And that's all I have. Does anybody know who's involved with taking care of this mess on Market Street? Oh, no, I actually have one other thing. The properties on corner of Jewel and Market, the old man Ollie's, the gas station at Market and River, and that strange-looking building that was constructed brick by brick opposite the gas station on River, have all now, it's a state of blight. The gas station's never going to come back, let's face it. Anybody who's going to put a gas station on River Road with Wawa there would have to have their head examined. So that's not happening, regardless of what they say. I honestly don't believe the whole thing was legit anyway, because the little aluminum top blew off and they decided to call it quits because the aluminum top blew off, which had the weight of a couple tin cans. They could have easily continued pumping gas. It was an insurance fraud, in my opinion. Is there any moves that could be made with these three properties to expedite somebody doing something with them?
We're going to answer all those questions at the end, after all the other residents speak.
Okay. And if somebody could come up with an answer on the...
Definitely.
I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else would like to come on up?
Jeff Walensky, 7060 Wood Street. I have to ask Mr. Lawyer, when you saw me outside, talk about that Lizette Street Park. What could I find out before I ask the question? I don't have much to say.
Yes.
Was it this?
Mr. Dutchkin, that he had given us a report on some things that are happening on the Lizette Street Park.
Yes.
That was what was done at the work session, and that was what I referred to. Because you would ask me, has there been any discussion as to that? So, I don't know, Mayor, if you want to go out of order
No, we're
and
going to
just
wait.
close this.
We'll answer the Lissette Street Park at the end of the meeting, when we open it up to council comments.
I don't know, you know. Should I ask a question about...
Sure, you can ask any question you want.
Okay, all right. The
Steal your pen, Frank. Take the dead pens.
The light, I know that the DPW is looking into that light that shines on the park. It's that pole that was affected with the,
Thank you.
what do you call that, storm. The light's out, the park is dark. And I know the DPW's been calling public service, as I have done, to get that illuminated a little bit. I don't know, that's, just want to bring that up.
Do you know the poll number?
I didn't memorize it.
Okay.
There's only one pole, and that's it, that faces the park, right on Lizette Street. I think it was 604, something like that. I have stopped calling the DPW, the public service, about that. And the other thing is, we're talking about putting a fence to stop the parking that the Venetian wants to have, put their cars. They have gone out on the hill that, and we were talking, Mr. Garofalo, Mr. Calandrilla were talking that day when we met, that morning, about maybe putting a fence there. And I think Mr. Garofalo said something about maybe the Venetian should pay for that, the demarcation, so that cars can't go into the park a little bit. So, I don't know, I thought it was a good idea. Mr. Calandrilla, but we talked about that, right?
Yeah,
Morning?
And we're going to discuss that all at the end.
Oh, so I don't know what to say.
All right.
I'll wait till the end.
Thank you.
You can tell I'm not that,
That's okay, no, that's
that,
fine.
I'm not running for council.
That's fine. That's fine. Anybody else would like to come on up?
My name is Joan Bannis, I'm at 20 Hepworth Place, Garfield. Thank you for the hiring of the video to film the council meetings. I also agree about the student volunteering, it's a great thing for him, but as educators, you know, that we have a student stay up until 11 o'clock on a school night, but maybe he could work with the professional and learn, maybe he could be I was just thinking of this policy, he could be a little helper or learn something from the professional. Also, I know that and plus, the city council put the notice in the public notices. This is done by the city council, right? For the bids for the bid for the video film. It was in public notices twice, and the application was on the website. So I think that gives the intention that you wanted to have bids, right, put in.
Yes.
So that was $100 each time it was in the paper twice. So I think it showed people that we wanted to hear bids and get offers. So to just drop it, I think would be a little strange. Also, when we begin, do we have a name? And, or are we allowed to know the name? Concerning also, I'll tell, I've been doing a little survey of some districts. I've pulled about 15, and we are the only ones out of that 15 who are using a student to videotape. Everyone else is using professional, or one said that it was a volunteer, an adult who was volunteering. Everyone else is using outside company. About the forum and about the redevelopment in the first ward, I mean, I'm not the person that's totally involved in it. I am. But at the forum, I think it was stated clearly that we want redevelopment. I don't think anyone has said we don't want improvements on Safe Street. We want redevelopment, but without the use of eminent domain. We just don't want the use of eminent domain. And I've called other places where they've done redevelopment. Asbury Park, no eminent domain. Little Falls, no eminent domain. And I've spoken with people. Woodbridge, no eminent domain. Rutherford, Wellington, Westwood, Passaic, Bloomfield, Hackensack. No eminent domain. We are not using it. It was one, I think it was Bloomfield, I could be wrong. I spoke with someone there, and he said the developer wanted to use eminent domain. The city said, no, we do not want it. And the developer had to leave, but I think he sued the city. I don't know what happened with that lawsuit. But it was interesting stories that I've been gathering. We want redevelopment, but without the use of eminent domain. I mean, it's called eminent domain abuse for a reason. And I think that's all I could really say at this time. Thank you.
Thank you, Joan.
Thank you, Joe.
For the council, for the purpose of the council, we cannot comment on Joan's statements about eminent domain in the other municipalities, because it's in litigation.
Mike Dennistrand, 104 Palisade Ave, Garfield. Has anybody been reading the papers lately about New Jersey Transit? This project, I feel, is overbuilding. You want to build up Passaic Street, clean up Passaic Street, but the project, we're going to jumpstart it and everything else and get the bank down and start building over there. Governor Phil Murphy considered New Jersey Transit a national disgrace. If you read the papers here, what do you call it? The commuters complain daily with vulgarity and social media about delays, cancellation, overcrowding. Here's a picture right here, August 10th. We had New Jersey Transit is in the paper almost every day and on the news. This fails. Their flagship junction in Secaucus, problem with the air conditioning, vending machines, what do you call now, working for the tickets, positive train control, which has been mandated Congress 10 years ago. It's still not complete and they're still way behind. Their maintenance on tracks, trestles is still lacking, and we still got heavy freight trains carrying bulk and crude, various chemicals racing through Garfield in the early hours so they go undetected by Norfolk Southern. A lot of people, a lot of real estate people consider Garfield an affordable town. We have 1 and 2 family houses in Garfield. People like their backyards, they like their gardens, right? You want to change all that, right? You want to build, right? I consider, I'll be honest with you, I quote Governor Patton back in World War II. He was, you're nuts. And I think the council is nuts as far as I'm concerned. You're overbuilding, overcrowding, overburdening, our sewers, everything else, our schools and whatnot. But go ahead, you know, you want to do it, you have the authority and stuff like that. But I considered it a negative thing to do, especially for Snake Street. The roads are not wide enough to, you know, to carry the burden to go to Walmart back and forth. That road should be double widened like Lodi has it. You know, I remember when Lodi was one street. I was a little kid driving up and down, 17 years old, you know, the Carvel there and everything else. They did a beautiful job. They widened it and everything else, so you got free flow of traffic. Right now, it's a mess. It's going to be a greater mess, as far as I'm concerned. All right, I don't want to take up too much of your time, but I still feel it's a heavy burden on this town. All right, thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Denstrom. Anyone else would like to comment up? Yes, please.
Mayor, council members, my name's Ted Lestrange. I'm not a resident of Garfield.
I'm sorry to catch your name?
Ted Lestrange.
Okay, thanks.
Address is 43 Prospect Hill Road. That's Cuddybackville, New York. Yeah, I don't know, it's not about local issues.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Yes, that's fine.
Yeah. The entitle is Genocide by Scalpel, because that's the title given by one of the investigators into forced organ harvesting in China. The updated research concludes that China's hospitals transplant between 60,000 and 100,000 vital human body organs each year. But China has no real organ donation program. Here in the US, with the most sophisticated organ transplant system in the world, a patient can wait 2 to 3 years for a matching organ just to become available. In China, however, the waiting time is measured in weeks. An organ transplant tourist to China, including one for Garfield, can arrange a specific date for their operation, which unfortunately means that someone will be dispatched on their behalf on that date. It's a cultural taboo to donate one's organs after death in China. So what's the source of these organs? Translation of these facts equates to tens of thousands of prisoners of conscience each year being killed for their organs. Most of these prisoners of conscience are Falun Gong practitioners, but also Tibetans, Uyghurs, and House Christians. They're routinely blood tested and their organs examined while held in China's forced labor camps, detention centers, and black jails. I have a quote. On June 13th, 2016, the US House of Representatives unanimously passed Resolution 343, which in its summary section, quote, condemns the practice of state-sanctioned forced organ harvesting in China, close quote. European Parliament has also passed similar regulations. This has been happening for over 19 years, but there's still a deathly silence on this issue, and that is why I stand before you, the elected and respected representatives of the community, to echo the heavy burden of this genocide as acknowledged by the House. China's total control of its own media and way beyond. So it comes down to this type of word of mouth to divulge what's happening. Many dedicated researchers have gathered an enormous amount of data from current and archived hospital websites, medical journals, local media reports, telephone surveys, and other evidence for the 865 hospitals in China that have performed these organ transplants. Some books are now being written and documentaries have been produced with more comprehensive information. So I brought along this package of information for your kind attention. And so I thank you very much.
Thank you, Ted. Is there anyone else who would like to come up and speak? At this time, I see no hands. I will open it up to the council comments.
Thank you, Mayor.
Councilman Moya.
Thank you, Mayor. Ed, I apologize for being late. Sometimes it just gets by us, and I do apologize. We should do a better job of notifying you as to how big our agenda is and times when we're going to exceed our 8 o'clock time frame. I do think that the good news is that the extended issue of the website and having a more thorough communication, having someone here to film our meetings and let citizens know, even if they can't stay or can't be here, by somebody that is financially responsible. I think we have someone here that's emotionally responsible to our community, and I want to thank him for his service. He's not being replaced, it's just that the magnitude of and the responsibility that we do here at the council should be held by someone who is financially responsible. We can't tell them, well, you didn't do it right, you didn't volunteer good enough. There's no such thing. So I want to commend the volunteer that we have, but I do think we have to move forward. And Ed, I apologize to you personally for being so tardy, but at the same token, sometimes the issues grow bigger than our time schedule permits. With regard to Jewel and Market Street and the building on River Drive, ugly and stupid is hard to outlaw. People start projects that they're financially not capable of completing, and they leave the city with a half-built structure. But they pay their taxes, and they're paying their taxes based on the assessed value of a half-built structure. It's ugly, it's a blight, it becomes a compromised issue, but it doesn't give the council the right to take someone's property away. Even if they've designed it well and they've done a good job, we're looking at it from the legal point where, why do we have, I think the issue of any development, whether it be a single person doing it or a large area being developed, it's very difficult for the municipality to come in and say, build quicker, build faster. Now, the planning board and the zoning board, they do have the authority to say to someone when they come in front of them for a particular permit or a zoning application, look, we'll give that to you, but please be done in 12 months. If we give you this option, can you be done in a specified time? And if the person agrees to it, then you have a mutual agreement and they have to fulfill their obligation. Again, I'm not even sure what the legal recourse is because there's always extenuating circumstances. But I've seen that building on River Drive. I'm going, what the heck is a guy building? This is makes no sense. But, stupid, ugly, and slow is not illegal. And that's basically what we're dealing with, Ed. But that, to answer your question. I do think that the city manager has some issues that he wants to address with regard to Jewel Street and the culverts that are there, because we've already contacted the county. I don't know, Mayor, if you want to have them addressed now. And also with regard to Lizette Street Park, with something that's going to be modified there also.
Yes.
So I'll turn over my time to the mayor to convert that to the city manager's time. Thank you, Mayor, for having the opportunity.
You're welcome. Tom, can you address the Jewel Street gas station, the empty building, and the set?
All right, so there's a big debate that's going on between the city and the county. The county has issued a number of letters over the years, I'm going to say over the last 8 to 10 years, indicating that their position is, unless it says Bergen County on it, the culvert is not theirs. The city would be responsible for it. The good news is that today we did receive something from the Bergen County Mosquito Commission. They indicated that they are willing to come in to clean out areas that are brooks that are overgrown, etc. So we received the email today at about 12:39, and we responded by 1:19, telling them that we in the city of Garfield are absolutely interested. We'd like them to come and clean out the brush in Fleischer's Brook. But we are also looking into what chances there are to get some of these culverts addressed by the county. We believe that they're county structures. Some of them do not say Bergen County on them, but they were built a very, very long time ago, and our argument is that they are Bergen County structures, and Bergen County should be responsible for them. So we will be reaching out to the county administration on that issue. In terms of the Lizette Street Playground, I'm happy to report that Mr. Boswell did do a survey of the property. He reported tonight in the work session of the council meeting that the paved area where the former railroad siding was does not encroach onto Lizette Street Park. Also, Mr. Garofalo, our DPW superintendent, is here. He did provide us with an estimate for fencing on that side of the park. He also provided us with an estimate for a guardrail on that side of the park. I've asked Mr. Boswell, the engineer, to be at the next meeting and to have with him a proposed solution to possibly address some of the drainage issues. As I've indicated at prior council meetings, since I was a young boy, that park has suffered from just always being wet
So there are some drainage issues there that perhaps we can address at the same time as we do the fencing. In terms of proposals, I know the gentleman here, we talked about that in the past, the recreation director has gotten us 3 separate proposals for extensive recreational equipment on a property. Doesn't appear that the neighbors really support that, maybe the council doesn't support that. Nevertheless, with summer help, we believe that park maintenance has been much better this year. We intend to keep that up. So Lizette Street is still a work in progress. That's it, Mayor.
Thank you. Councilman Calangelo.
Yes, in our work session, we had some discussion. If you notice, public service is doing a lot of work in town. And something that myself and I think we all pretty much agreed, the mayor brought it up, is the meters that are being placed in front of the buildings. Basically, what they're doing is they're going with the shortest distance. They're taking the meters out of the apartment or the home and placing them in front of the building. I don't think that's acceptable. We were told that you have an option, but that's not what public service is presenting. They're not giving us options, because I talked to them on the phone, and that was not offered to me. So I think our engineer's going to look into it, but in the meantime, there's been a lot of meters placed in front of these buildings. Sometimes they're in driveways, and they risk being hit by vehicles, so that's a problem. We talk about, we had a resolution on for the redevelopment, and I just stand by my comments that, it's nice to see non-condemnation, but coming before we go to court with that resolution, it still doesn't solve the problem of what was passed in going back with the eminent domain. So that's something that a judge is going to decide, and I'm very clear in my position. I've said it a million times. I'm not for the eminent domain. We all, including me, I'm for redevelopment, but we do not have to take people's properties. I think it was well said. Joan mentioned about all these towns without the eminent domain. There is redevelopment going on. There's a lot of private development going on. A lot of times, the economy is the driving force. Government doesn't always have to hold hands with the developer. So I think there's things that we could do and things that Garfield is moving forward. And I heard the deputy mayor say, well, people are happy with the redevelopment. Well, that's music to my ears, because all the redevelopment we've done in the past was without eminent domain. That's how it was done, 43 acres, all without eminent domain. So if they're happy, that's a great thing. The redevelopment authority, Mr. Dutch, I'm requesting the minutes for the last meeting.
I'm sorry?
The minutes for the last redevelopment meeting. I'm requesting the minutes.
What's the question?
Well, it was my understanding that it was presented about having a pilot being presented for a property, and that they're revisiting the Monroe Street and River Drive property, which, going back, a developer was picked many years ago, and we were waiting for the clearance of the property by the DEP. So now I'm understanding that we're possibly considering a pilot. I understand we're possibly considering putting apartments or units above what was designated at the time as an all-commercial development. So I'm requesting the minutes.
Oh, certainly.
That's
No
all.
problem. No problem.
And for the general public, everything we've done in the city of Garfield has been without a pilot program. In a pilot program, there's no school taxes and there's no county taxes. So the only agency that has a pilot for the last 100 years has been the Garfield Housing Authority. So I'm very concerned about this. I'm concerned about why we're revisiting something when A developer was designated many years ago, we're just waiting for the cleanup to be completed. And with that, on the Lizette Street, Tom did summarize it well. He says about, it's a matter of getting a price for fencing as opposed to bumper guards. I just want it to look like a park. Whatever the council decides, whatever Tom decides, I just don't want it to look like a parking lot. I want it to look like a park, the way it's supposed to be, and it's Green Acres inventory. So, and I've been asking for that survey probably for about 3 months now, and Boswell says he finally has it. And with that, I wish everybody to have a happy Labor Day weekend. It's a very hot day today. It's going to be hot for the next 2 days, so we need the public to take care of themselves. Don't risk anything. On the football avenue in Garfield, we have a big game against Lodi. Garfield High School has a big game Friday night. It's probably the earliest game that I've ever seen take place during, in the season. And our Mayor's Trophy game was canceled by Elmwood Park for the Garfield Junior Boilermakers. So we had nothing to do with that. That was strictly Elmwood Park that canceled that. So anyway, thank you very much.
All right, just a quick note, the Garfield-Lodi game is on Thursday night, 7 p.m.
I apologize, stand corrected.
And it is the first time that they're having a game actually before school starts. So it'll be a nice night, everybody come down and see a good game. Mr. Levine, I just want to address a few of your questions. You're absolutely right, River Drive is, it's a state of light where the gas station is and where the other building is. And we have that on Passaic Street, where we have a pizzeria there that's burnt down 50 years ago.
Yeah, about 40 years ago.
All right, and you know what? Nothing has happened there, nothing. And so myself, I'm speaking for myself, to leave that be, I can't, and that's why I got to push for redevelopment. You have a piece of property there that's been burnt out for 50 years, and it's still sitting there. I don't know if there is a go-to guy for the county, but our go-to guy is Mr. Tom Dutch. He seeks the county, and he spoke to the county today, I believe, with regards to the Fleisch's Brook. And there's other areas I know that he's working on with the fixing up of Fleisch's Brook, and we're going to need help from our elected county officials. And you get help from the elected county officials by speaking with them, by talking with them. You don't push them to the side. You have to establish a relationship with them. As politics goes 101, and we all know that. And that's what we try to do that's what I try to do up here. Reach out my hand to our elected officials in the county to try to help us out. Not for my benefit, for the benefit of the city. What else we had? With regards to a young student here filming our meetings. It was said that no other towns have a student filming their meetings, but you know what? We're a lucky town then. I bet you every town would love to have a student come down on a summer night, on a Thursday, volunteer his time to film our meetings. I think that says a lot about the students in Garfield, a lot about this individual right here. And I hope he continues to come, even if we do decide, when we do the filming with another company. And I believe the hiring of the website, you could watch the filming of the meetings on the website. And that will definitely, with the new company we have, will definitely make the filmings, be able to watch it a lot better. I know my wife says she watches it on the computer because she could fast forward through the time that I speak. So I guess that to be true. You can't do that on TV. With regards to with the redevelopment, I don't know. It says that, it was said that we're overcrowding the school. No, first of all, nobody up here wants to take nobody's property. So I've been saying that from day one. Nobody here wants to take anybody's property. So I don't know where it goes out that we do, because we don't. but we do want to redevelop, you know, and what redevelopment has to do with vending machines at train stations and New Jersey Transit, I really don't know, but to leave a blighted area, like River Drive, that area, and do nothing with it, is shame on me. That wasn't what I was elected for. All right? And as far as overcrowding of the schools, do you realize this is the first year ever that every single school has a media center because we have room with the building of the new school? Do you realize that every development project that we had put a very minimum amount of kids in our school systems? You know, so it's the new, you know, you want to call them millenniums, who's looking to rent apartments. They look at Uber, they look at mass transit, they look at bringing money into the city, they look at spending money in our businesses that we have in the city. And I encourage them to come. I would love to see them come and spend money on our businesses in our city. I'd love to see all our restaurants make a fortune. I'd love to see all our funeral parlors do as good as Louis Lawyers. It's just, you keep it going, you know, and not to do anything, it's wrong. The council member spoke about pilot programs. You know, to encourage developers in any city. Pilot programs in the state of New Jersey is common knowledge right now. Common knowledge. Everybody, every town is using pilots. Pilots, they do pay property tax to the county. The county does get taxed. And the school budget's going to get whatever that budget calls for, no matter what. So to say we don't pay school taxes, that's absurd, because whatever the budget for the school is, they get. Whatever they vote on it, they get that. So we're not stopping the Board of Ed from getting money. And you can shake your head all you want, Frank, but it's the truth, Frank. All right? It's, you know, with regards to the property on Monroe Street and River Drive, when that person got that property, that developer that Mr. Council was talking about, it wasn't a flood zone at the time. Since that time, now it's going back, how many years ago? 15 years ago, maybe?
He's been, Mark Chavis has been the designated redeveloper to a company called Paragon Development. He was designated as the redeveloper of that site probably at least 8 years ago. And you know, he's been renewed constantly because he continues to pursue the property and to pursue the idea of redeveloping the property, which is desperately needed.
Well, exactly, I agree 100%. But what I'm trying to say is, when you first took that property over, it wasn't in the flood zone. Today, the state of New Jersey designated that a flood zone, which means you cannot build nothing on the bottom, which means no stores, no so-called Home Depot could be built there. It has to be built 5 foot above, and that's an issue that he's having right now. So to have that develop, yes, I mean, I would definitely look into a pilot program, anything to help out to make that piece of property be developed. And that's a win for the city. Another one for the city, because you know what? You go on Monroe Street and River Drive, it looks like garbage. You know, it does. You have the empty lot there, and it doesn't look, you got tractor trailers parking there, and just to leave that go like some council members want, that's the wrong thing to do. Why would you want to see an empty lot looking like garbage there? I don't know why. I know I don't. I don't want to see tractor trailers parked in that empty lot there. I want to see it develop. And whatever I have to encourage developers to do, that's what I'm here to do, and that's what I will do. With that, I like to hope everyone had an enjoyable and safe summer. I hope everybody has an enjoyable Labor Day weekend, and it's good to be back. One of the reasons why we did take so long, because we haven't had a meeting in a month. So we did a lot of catching up to do, and next meeting, September 11th. Let's all remember still to this day what September 11th means to everybody. God bless.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. Mr. Devine, you're right. At 8 o'clock, we should get out, but Councilman, the lady said, We had a lot of catching up to do. Unfortunately, it just got tied into it, like Mr. Councilman Anoia. Things just got carried away, but we'll try to keep in mind that we should be getting out here in time, because the residents are here at 8 o'clock, ready to go. As far as the allotted time, lately, I stated earlier, lately, we've been going way over. There have been debates going back and forth from the podium to us on certain topics, really simple topics, and if each resident takes 10 minutes up there, 15 minutes, we're getting out here 10:30, 11 o'clock, and, you know, as I called around to other cities, other towns, municipalities, they all have a lot of times as well. So we're going back to that a lot of times. I know it's not a favor of everybody, but we're going to stay with that. As far as the gas station on River Road, I heard he is going to rebuild there. I don't know, I wouldn't myself, but, you know, it's not something I'm in favor of him rebuilding, but I heard that he's looking to fix it up with his insurance money. That empty building next door, that owner is looking to sell. It's just a big lot, and nothing's inside of it, and he's looking to sell whatever he put into it. That's all he's looking to get out of it. Some people have been, I guess, kicking tires to see if he's willing to sell, but what he put into it was about $1 million, and that's what he's looking for, is $1 million. And obviously, the way it's situated with the little parking in the back, you know, it's a big piece of property, and I guess he's not getting any bites. I hope he does get a bite and they can fix it up. Joan, you stated something earlier, and I'm just for clarification, and I'll let you answer it. You said, when we begin, do we have a name? I don't know what you mean by that. Oh, what's his name? Oh, okay. I do not know when they would begin. When would they begin?
Well, we got the name.
Flights.
Forenza Strategy Group?
Forenza Strategy Group. I don't know when they will begin. I assume they will begin
As soon as they execute the contract, I assume.
within a month or two. Lou, what you said about our volunteer was very nice, you know, and we can't take, the person that's going to be there now will be responsible. So anything that goes wrong, we could really get into that person as opposed to getting into a volunteer. Mr. Denistran, I know you're a big proponent of, you're against the redevelopment of, you know, well, you're for redevelopment, you're against eminent domain, and, you know, what's the solution on Passaic Street? You know, it's changing. Passaic Street's changing. I'll just go through what happened in a year that I know off the top of my head. There was a bank robbery, there was a stabbing, there was a major drug bust, there was a major weapons and drug bust, there was a pistol whipping where someone got tied up, there was a mugging where someone walked out of the bank and got punched in the face for $20. You know, this is all the stuff that's happened in the last year. So, you know, when I talk to these residents, they want, I'm not going back and forth. When I talk to these residents, you know, who live in the first ward, who live in other parts of the wards in Garfield, they want to know, you know, they want redevelopment. It's a bold move on our part. It's a bold move. I'm invested in Garfield. I got a 12, 11, 8, 7, 5, and a 3-year-old. All right? When I was young, in that age, I was hanging in Passaic Street. There's a pizzeria that burned down, like Deputy Mayor said, for 40 years. There's 4 empty buildings on Passaic Street. And, you know, it's time that we do something about it. You know, when we were at that meeting, that forum they had, and we were talking about redevelopment, everybody was talking about we're for redevelopment and against eminent domain. I went to Tom and I said, you know what, let's think about this. Let's think about this. We went to Greater Bergen and we discussed it. Maybe we will take eminent domain out. But we got a letter from their pro bono attorney out in Washington saying that, well, from one of the residents, saying that we're no longer allowed to talk about Passaic Street because it's in litigation and we're going to court. Well, you know what? There was the opportunity. Now, I always thought attorneys, I'm not an attorney, but I always thought attorneys were ready to compromise and work outside of the courtroom. And that could have been easily worked out. But we were told not to go to no more meetings, and that's the end of it. So now we go to court. If we win, it gets redeveloped. People in the first ward, house values go up, crime goes down, violence goes down, drugs may go away. If they win, redevelopment's still happening. It's just not eminent domain. People are going to sell the properties because they're going to see progress. Garfield is moving forward. For Garfield moving forward, this is the town. All right? This is the town for you because we're going to move forward. You know, there's a lot of great things going on in Garfield right now. There's people who want to come into our town. And unfortunately, you know, we have an area that is blighted, that needs to be redeveloped through eminent domain or just through redevelopment. And I was happy to hear during that forum that people were for redevelopment. So, you know, hopefully things work out. Things work out. I want to congratulate Dr. Giovanni Cusmano. He's our new business administrator for the school district. He was hired yesterday. I know he's going to do great things for Garfield, and he'll balance the budget. I know they had issues in the last few years, and given time, I know Dr. Giovanni Cusmano will balance the budget. We have going on at the end of September, we have a concert in the park, right? Concert in the park at Belmont on September 20th. Nikki Breyer would be the headliner, recording artist, and two other artists from 6:30 to 9.
It's hand in hand with Bergen County, so.
It's hand in hand with Bergen County. They're trying to put together a car show on September 22nd, a car show with drive-in movies later on. So please check our website. And hopefully everybody has a great Labor Day weekend. And, you know, enjoy the summer. We look forward to seeing everybody in September. With that said, motion.
I'll make a motion.
Okay, motion by Councilmember Joe Delaney, seconded by Councilmember...
No second, because that'll keep you here forever. Drew, you've missed 31 years, never missed a meeting.
That's true.
Congratulations, Joe.
Second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Meeting's adjourned.